I want to thank our university leadership, our athletic department, and their leadership as far as uh, everybody involved, starting with Mike Bone and our great medical staff who've put us our medical staff that really works hard, and they had a very uh, complex matter to deal with, this COVID and the different layers that they had to deal with as far as LA County, LA State, the Pac-12, the NC2A, and that was a ton of work, and I'd like to thank them for all the work that they did to put us in a position to be able to play basketball this season. And first and foremost, also I would like to thank our athletes who remained very patient through the process as they were at home for 6 months, and everything was fluid and things were changing, sometimes day to day, sometimes hour to hour, and I just want to commend everybody's patience, work, diligence to get us to the point where we can play a season right now. And now that we're here and we're about a month away from our opening game, I can say that we're really excited about the prospects of this season. I felt we ended very well last year. We returned almost everybody from last year's team, with the exception of Kayla Overbeck. That's going to be she's going to have big shoes to fill because she did so much for our team last year. But we get everybody back, plus we get Shalexis Aaron back from injury and Maddie Campbell back from injury. And we have three really good freshmen on our roster. One is still rehabilitating a knee, won't be available for a month and a half. Jordan Jenkins, who had a great career, was one of the top recruits in the country. But we are, again, excited about having everybody back. And the team right now, I like the team's attitude. They're together, they're working hard, they're practicing hard. We've got 25 practices to go, and like I said, I just like the way they're so together. I like how they relate to one another, and I like how they're following through on the things they need to do to become a cohesive unit, to be a family on and off the floor. I know our leadership has been really good. I want to commend our captains, Shalexis Aaron and Desiree Caldwell, who've done a great job. Desi does a great job keeping our kids together, keeping them motivated, staying positive with them all the time. And she actually is performing very well in practice right now, shooting the ball very well, and again, she gives us that enthusiasm, that leadership from practice day to day, and that's not an easy thing to do, to be up all the time and know you cannot have a down day when you're a captain. And then we have what I consider our two best returning offensive players from last year, Endyia Rogers and Alissa Pili. Endyia Rogers is just an amazing talent. I wouldn't want to guard her in the open court. She's got all kinds of moves. She can shoot the three. She can get to the rim. She can pass the ball. And our second leading scorer is a freshman, and she ended the year very well. Last 5 or 6 games, shooting 42% from the field and 41% from three. But she's a talent. She can go down as one of the great guards to have played at USC, and I want to acknowledge her for that. But it's going to take a lot of hard work, and we've been working on some things as far as her intensity and things like that. But as far as an all-around game, she rebounded last year. She was able to score, and she defended also. So I'm looking forward to really big things from her this year, and her continuing to work hard and evolving as a player. And I think she was honorable mention on the all Pac-10 freshman, all Pac-12 freshman team last year. She was honorable mention on the coaches poll, and she was honorable mention at the media poll. We want her. We're looking forward to great things from her. And then, of course, Alissa Pili, who was the freshman of the year, who was first team all Pac-12 last year and was rated the third best freshman in the country by ESPN. Alissa, for anybody that's seen her, they understand that she's a tough matchup. She can shoot the three. She can score inside. She can face the basket and go at the basket. Just a scorer and a great kid, and just, I'm telling you, a kid that stays focused, that just has the game plan in mind, and she doesn't let anything take her out of her game. If she gets a bad call, or if she misses a shot or anything, she's just so focused, and she's got the perfect personality and disposition to play this game. Nothing can take her out of her game. And don't get her mad, because if she gets mad, she gets focused. She doesn't show it emotionally. She just gets focused and translates that into rebounding or scoring. I really feel that Alissa can go down as one of the great ones in our program, and we're really excited about her next 3 years and what she can bring to the program and everything else. But she's Desi's a vocal leader, and Alyssa's are quiet. I lead by example. I just come in and I work hard in practice day in and day out. And then we've got returners. We're looking forward to Shalexis Aaron, who when she played as a freshman actually shot about 34% from three, which was good, and shot like 60% in the preseason that year that she played. Was one of leading three-point shooters in the country. And I'm sure Allison Mura, Angel Jackson, who gives us size inside. I'd like to name all of them. They're all doing a really, really good job, and every returner participated in our success last year, at the end of last year, and played very, very well. So excited about even though we're still young, we do not have a senior on the roster. We have a graduate transfer who's pretty good. Was a 10th, I think. Don't quote me on this. I think it was the 10th leading scorer in the country at UCI 2 years ago. Averaged 21 points a game. Jordan Sanders. She's a senior, but she technically has another year of eligibility. So the team that you're looking at this year, no one will graduate, and we'll add two highly recruited kids next year. 6'6" kid and a 6'5" kid, who both have a chance to be McDonald All-Americans. So we're building for the future. The future looks good. We're excited, and can't wait for our first game. And I know the kids, our young student athletes, feel the same way.
Thanks, Coach. All right, we have some questions coming in. So let's start with Adam Grossbard.
Hey, thank you all for doing this. Desiree, as Coach Trakh said, that was a very, very young team last year. Now a year older, what is the vibe in this kind of preseason? Does it feel like a different squad, a little bit more focused, kind of more understanding of what the coaching staff is asking?
Definitely. Like he said, we were extremely young last year. We had 7 freshmen, and I was considered to be very experienced, only having 1 year under my belt. So last year we learned a lot, and the vibe of this season right now, this year, is that we're just very hungry. Our time in quarantine, we really didn't get to see each other for like 7 months. It's been crazy. So just all being back together has felt really good, and we're just ready to get things started.
And Alissa and Endyia, what were you working on this off season to be ready for your sophomore years?
I think for me, mainly just my perimeter game, mostly shooting the three, because I know my percentage wasn't as good as I wanted it to be. So just focusing on that and sharpening my outside skills. So
I was focused on my mid-range, because I know I really struggle with my mid-range game. I love to shoot a floater a lot, so I focused on my mid-range, and I did a little bit of agility as well.
Thank you.
All right, Tukni.
For Desi, I know Coach Trakh just mentioned that your leadership, and you mentioned having to do a lot of virtual stuff, haven't been able to see your teammates for 7 months. So how was that as a leader? How did that challenge your leadership skills to try to bring this team together during a really uncertain off season?
Yeah, honestly, it was really challenging. We're naturally a very close team. We all get together really well. We're always like hanging out together. So being away from each other for 7 months was really tough. And especially having new teammates that you don't get to work out with in the summer and build that relationship with, it really took an extra level of effort to constantly reach out. And it's just a very difficult time for everybody, and everybody was going through different things. So just checking in on everybody and making sure that they were doing good. It really, brought a challenge to developing our relationships. But now that we're all back together, it feels like things are back to normal. So it feels really good.
Amanda Skurlock.
Hello. This is a question for everyone. How do you feel like the last season kind of helped build chemistry among the team?
I guess you got it. You got it, Alissa.
I think just having such a young team and going through the adversity that we did just brought us closer together, and like it kind of forced us to learn how to play with each other fast. And I think just that helped us come together as a team and create that bond. So.
I think last year we were very young, and we faced a lot of challenges early, and we had little amount of time to get together to do great in the Pac-12. And as you see at the end of the Pac-12, we had that team chemistry that led us to get a couple wins.
Yeah, I don't want to sound like a parrot, but the Pac-12 is like a very difficult conference. It's arguably one of the best in the nation. So to have one of the youngest groups in the Pac-12 and still be as competitive as we were and facing as many injuries as we did, I think it really attests to the level of grit that we have and the level of togetherness that we have.
Yeah, and Desi pointed out, the injuries. We lost Alexis Aaron for the year. We lost Stephanie Watts, who is, who would have been a really good player. I mean, she would have been a great player for us. So we didn't have those two players all year. And then losing Maddie Campbell before the year, and then losing Angel Jackson in the tournament, and losing Leah June for 5 games at the end of the year, in which we won 5. We ended the season with 8 players, and those players won 5 out of their last 6 games and played UCLA pretty tough with 6 people in that last game, in that tournament game. So I think they grew a lot. Now, what happened is that being so young, they didn't realize how hard you had to practice, and that showed when we lost to Santa Barbara. And then we played UCLA in the opening game, and UCLA really blew us off their court. And then 5 weeks later, we beat UCLA. So our kids really, really grew up and understood that. Well, I mean, our young kids, playing UCLA, that first game at UCLA, after the game, it's like, whoa, okay, so this is what coach was talking about. And by the time we played UCLA on to the end of the season, we're a pretty good team. We were a pretty good basketball team from that point on. So I think they came a long way. They learned, they matured, they had some success, and I think they're ready for the challenges of what Desi said was arguably the best conference in the country right now.
I'm gonna have to let the girls go pretty quick here. So, but I do have a few more questions. So, Kim Doss. Kim, are you out there? Okay, we'll go to Cheryl Coward.
Hi, my question is for all 3 players. In this extended time off that you had, how were you able to stay motivated on a personal level specifically? And then how were you able to stay in shape when you had limited access or no access to gyms and strength and conditioning coaches?
Can you repeat the first part of the question, please?
How were you able to stay motivated personally, mentally?
Oh, I mean, I know that I play in the best conference in America right now, and if you don't come in focused and motivated to play hard, then that you're not gonna succeed. So I had that in my mind. I want to go to the tournament and win a couple championships. So you have to be motivated in order to do those things. And then as far as conditioning, I ran a lot. I mean, I had a track available for me, or like a field, so I could run a lot and do a little bit of agility stuff.
Yeah, for me, this experience was like really unique just because most of us have been playing basketball since we were yay high, like 4 or 5 years old. So this has been like the longest period of time where we've gone without having access to a gym. So for me, staying motivated was easy in this time because the time off honestly reminded me why I love the game so much. just not being able to get in the gym anytime I want, and, have the therapy of just shooting in an open gym, it really made me miss it. So that's what really keeps me motivated for the season. And I'm motivated by my teammates, of course. And for the majority of the time, I was actually in LA, so I didn't have access to a gym. So I had to get kind of inventive with the ways I trained. My teammate, Shalexis Aaron, lives around the corner from me. So she actually bought a basketball hoop, like a goal to put outside of her house. So I spent most of my basketball time, my training over there, and I just dribble outside and run in the park and things like that.
Staying motivated for me, I think it was just not getting to finish last year, and how well we're going. I just wanted to build off of that. So staying motivated to do well this upcoming season. And, I just had it in my mind that I can't come in, not prepared, because my team is counting on me, and, I can't let them down. But I have a bunch of siblings at home, so we would all just, when there wasn't courts available, we would all just go to the field and work out over there. I was with my brother, Brandon, that's on the football team, and all my younger ones, just, getting working and doing what we can to stay in shape and stay, prepared for what we're going back to.
All right, we've got 2 more questions. Dennis Freeman.
This question is for Coach Trakh. Coach Trakh, what is the level of expectation you have for your ball club? And do you feel like your roster is good enough to contend for the Pac-12 title?
Dennis, I think the expectation is definitely to be somewhere in the top 6 and go to the tournament. I think that should be our expectation. And as far as competing for the Pac-12 championship, that's every team's goal. That's why you take the floor. Are we there this year? I'll tell you after a couple of Pac-12 games, but I definitely feel that we need to jump in the top 6 somewhere, because I feel the top 6 teams in the Pac-12, because the conference is so strong, will get you into the NC2A tournament. And once in the NC2A tournament, I think we got the type of team that can make a run, win a couple of games, get to the Sweet 16. So our expectation is that, and I think we've got to move the program forward and raise our expectations this year, and especially next year when we get this entire team back, plus an excellent recruiting class. I think our 4 to 5 year goal, I think we're on schedule. But this year we definitely have to take a step forward and our goal is to get to the tournament this year.
Thank you, Coach.
Okay, I have to let the women go, unless you guys feel like you can stay on. Yeah, actually, it's 12:20. I think I'm gonna have the last question for Rashawn Haylock, and then we'll let everyone go. Thank you. Rashawn?
Thanks, Darcy. Desi, this is for you. I kind of thrust into a leadership role a little bit last year. How were you able to make that adjustment, and how are you going to be better in that area this year?
I think that getting thrust into the leadership role wasn't too difficult for me. I grew up playing for my father, who really raised me to be a vocal leader and to help lead by example. So it wasn't that challenging. And honestly, my freshman year, I had a pretty good example of what the Pac-12 was and how to be a successful player in the Pac-12, with people like Mignon Moore and Mariah Moore as examples. So I took the pieces that I liked out of their leadership style and I brought it to the way I led my sophomore year. And I think it turned out pretty good. I obviously wasn't that experienced with, being the starting point guard last year, but leading my girls was really naturally easy. And I think we did really good.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks everyone. We will let you guys run off to practice. Thanks a lot, Coach, Desi, Alissa, Endyia. I'm going to bring up Coach Enfield and Isaiah Mobley, and we will segue to the men's portion of this.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Thank you.